in the show.
And we're live! You just start talking. No, Brandy!
Such a incoherent thoughts.
Was that a different podcast we part of?
I was confused.
You guys don't want to sing Brandy? Such a
Brandy,
fine girl.
Such a fine girl.
Is that the song from
It's
the
the song, yeah.
Okay.
It's all over.
It's all over.
That was the only song.
That was
the only song I remembered.
From the movie?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
You remember
aside from like the end credits.
The Fleetwood Mac one?
Well, yeah, the Fleetwood Mac one.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, before we start breaking it down, I thought the soundtrack was way lacking than the first one.
If you don't know what we're talking about, we're talking about the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. We
You
all
must not have
post-
read the descriptive thing.
Yeah.
Must not have. Oh, yeah,
Or don't subscribe to the show.
Or watch.
And no, last week we said we were reviewing this week.
Yeah.
You know?
We might get to Alien Covenant.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. All right.
We've got 1 million watches.
So let's start this one. Watch it.
Give or take.
Real quick, we got Tom at the end here. Cap shirt.
Boom.
That's a good capture.
Yeah, we got Rob, Disney jacket. Of
Disney
course.
jacket, Boba Fett shirt.
There it is. The
The reveal. You gotta get the reveal.
Paul, I'm over it.
We got a Rams.
Okay.
LA Rams shirt.
That's a fly shirt.
Good
Yeah,
shirt.
totally.
It's a good shirt. Naps. War Machine.
War Machine.
Good shirt.
That's a good shirt. Is that a new War Machine shirt?
That looks new.
No, this was the pinnacle of the shirts. So I haven't worn it again for podcasts, but I've worn it in public like 3-4 times because I'm in love with it.
I like that.
That's a good shirt.
That thing's scaring me.
Okay.
So
It's
you can't even like really talk like a normal person.
Just talk to it.
Yeah, that makes it so much better. Welcome to the Incoherent Thoughts podcast. Brought to you, then boom goes dynamite. So,
You may not have. Maybe you're used to it now, but Charles is the dick lick, so
yeah.
you know.
it's so
It's so
common
common.
that I didn't even comment on it.
Yeah. But
Sometimes there's 5 of us.
mainly 4.
Mainly 4.
I feel like there's been more times there's 4 of us than there's 5 of us.
4 is the majority now for sure.
Yeah, that's better. Less people talking, right?
All right, so basically, this is the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 review, spoiler deep. May talk about some of the trailers beforehand. Probably won't get to any of that. But let's get into it, huh?
It's alright.
Should we just do a little dick hard?
Quick dick.
Quick dick?
Quick dick check.
Dick pics?
I'll go last. I'll go last on the
Dick.
quick dick. Well, no. Fuck it.
Okay. I mean,
Let's see that dick.
You're going first. Let's see
So-
that. Let's see that
Let's
dick.
see it.
So my first viewing, I was kind of.
It's a quick dick pic.
Okay, quick dick. Well, it was
Quick
like
dick pic. It's either dick hard, yes, or soft, or
it was a content dick. I don't know what you would call that. And now it's kind of a little more erect from my second viewing because
so it was down. It wasn't even erect.
it wasn't even really erect.
So you've seen it twice.
Just
Yes.
impressive to see, and now it's hard.
It wasn't. Yeah, I'm not gonna.
You were
besides-
soft. Blood was flowing.
I was more. I came out of it more like.
You got a little hot dick. You know when it's not up yet, but you're like, okay.
Right. I could give it a shot.
Give it a shot.
You know? But
you might be able to. Okay.
yeah, we might be able to come with something. But
Okay.
Okay.
Good to
how's
know.
your dick doing?
It's doing good. It was doing good. I'm not. It wasn't, solid as a rock, but it was pretty good. I was satisfied.
Okay, that's. I think I'm pretty much on the same thing of what Rob just said. It was hard, but
Yeah.
not just like raging.
Right. It wasn't
rage.
It wasn't rage.
But it was, it was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, it's a hard dick. It's just I'm not close to finishing yet.
Wow, I think we're all like kind of on the same page.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about it all, but I'm getting the feeling, getting the vibe,
We're on the same page.
getting the vibe. It sucked, right? Right, Pop?
It was absolute
I
shit.
definitely recommend that second viewing to change.
I want that second.
I want that second viewing as well, and my feelings immediately after were different an hour after, a little
Right.
bit too, of like digesting the whole movie, or even during the movie. Sometimes during the movie I was a little more like, and then like kind of after like, no, that was great. No, it was great. It's like kind of what we discussed this a tiny bit before the podcast, just kind of like you're expecting something, and I guess in a weird way, it was everything I thought it would be, and I think that was a tiny bit of the disappointment.
Yes.
It was like, oh, Yeah, of course, this is exactly a sequel, and it's doing exactly the sequel things. It's just ramping up the things that they thought people liked from the other one, which you like, I like too. But it was like I don't like when they certain things they just overdo it.
It was overdone, and it.
That's a bummer.
It was overdone. And,
Fortnite 5, right?
you're the worst. But so. If you guys hear a dog get shot, don't worry.
It's a suicide video is really what this is.
Yeah. So what was I? What were we talking about?
I don't know.
Pirates 5.
I don't know. Back to you, Rob.
Oh no! So like basically, it was everything we were afraid it was going to be. I wouldn't say afraid, but as far as like I'm like the one thing I don't want them to do is I don't want them to just get like oh, people thought it was funny, so we got to get really jokey. Oh, people remember when Groot danced and he kind of danced at the guy at the end? Yeah. Everyone's got to be dancing.
Yeah.
And it was like, I said, remember that cool arrow?
The arrow part was the part where it was the really... The Baby Groot dance in the beginning. And the arrow part were the two parts where I was like, wow, okay, we get it. It was really, and that's the part I hate when they do it because it was so cool. Actually, Yondu's thing in the first one was so cool when he killed like 29 guys. That was the coolest thing. Like, oh, that fucking thing is so cool.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, okay, so now you can kill fucking 400 in one sitting.
Right.
I mean, looking at a monitor and like dancing and just like hanging out, and it's just like going through everybody's fucking head, just like, okay. It was like, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of how cool Quicksilver's scene was in Days of Future Past and how stupid it was in Apocalypse.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same thing. It was like, wow, you took everything that was cool about that and made it like stupid.
People liked it. You gotta fucking make it bigger and better. And it's like,
And the same thing with the Baby Groot dancing. It was just kind of like, okay, so we had a dance open the last time. We gotta have a dance open this time, but make it longer. It's gotta be a longer dance open.
Well, this one was just like. This one, I had a rough time with this one when I was like, oh no, because like he just kind of kept going. I was like, I kind of want to see that space battle.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, I'm conditioned to it because that's how I watch TV now with a 2-year-old jumping in front of me and I can't really see the battle going on. But it was kind of like I couldn't even look around him because it was a movie. I was like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
They're getting down back there. Let me see it.
Yeah.
Keep the music going. Keep your dance, but maybe you get blurry and show me the fight.
Right, yeah.
You know?
But it's like, it was the dance, and then they also did that part where, like, Drax, like, looked at him, and he, like, stopped, and he, like, looked away, and I was just like, that doesn't even make sense anymore. Because, like, when you did it before, it was because you were just, like, a twig, and it was like, oh, is that twig moving? Now it's like, he knows Baby Groot. Like, why would he just, like, I don't know. It just seemed like it was like, remember the last one?
Yeah, what'd you think?
The Baby Groot part was rough at the beginning. I was like, I knew they were going to try to shove Baby Groot down our throats. That was just what was going to happen. But when they started the movie out with that, I was like, oh no, like this is going to be it's going to be a Baby Groot.
No warm up.
I didn't realize that Baby Groot was going to be so Baby Groot. I didn't realize he was going to be like such a baby. Like his mind.
Right.
I mean, maybe that's naive to me or something, but I just thought he was like a small, like Groot, just growing.
It's like a different Groot.
I didn't. It's kind of like, oh, so like our Groot's gone.
Yeah. I was like, oh, he really did sacrifice himself there. Okay. So new Groot.
Does that mean there's like other new Groots out there? Like if someone at the planet decided to pick up another twig and nurture it, did they get a Groot?
I don't know. Maybe if it didn't get planted in time, it's dead.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, and it's like I had a problem with when I was talking to Kelly last night after the movie because she kept, because I have a tendency to just bring up what you don't like. I like the movie. I mean, the movie was good.
Right.
It's like if it wasn't, and I kept telling Kelly, I think the first one was great.
Yeah.
This one was good.
Right.
And I go, and obviously I'm doing too much comparing to that one, right? But I would just, again, what it was everything I thought it would be. And like I actually wanted it to be more than I thought it would be. I wanted it to be like, oh, this was so good, or like it was doing this, but it was like, oh, it was very predictable.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be like the first one.
But it was, but like nothing was bad about it. Like nobody was bad.
Yeah.
I thought like the character was fine. I mean, the story was fine. It wasn't a whole lot to it by any means. It was an easy bait and switch. Also, I actually got a little disappointed. Like like, I figured it out, like, I mean, you probably also did too. It was like 10 minutes and you're kind of like, oh, wait a minute. They haven't even, like, established a bad guy in this. It's clearly going to be him.
Yeah.
And that kind of was like, oh.
Right.
I guess I should have seen that coming.
I agree with you.
From the trailers or something or whatever, but I was like, I was like, it was really early on, like, oh, they haven't even tried establishing a bad guy yet. Oh, so he's going to swap. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, he's going to, oh, gotcha. We're going to spend the first half him being like, woo, and then he's going to be like, ah, and basically,
That's where I was getting so enamored with Kurt Russell's charms and stuff, and then I started thinking, how are they gonna keep going in the series with Ego the Living Planet, on the crew? Like, something's gonna happen where it's not gonna end happy for them. Like, so but I was with you. Even though Ego's an established comic book villain or whatever,
you don't know what they're doing in the MCU.
I didn't know what they were doing, and I didn't really think he was going to be a villain. I kind of thought they were going to push Sovereign more, which they were pretty annoying, I thought. I thought they were...
They're supposed to be.
But I was just like, just fuck off. Like, we don't need you in the movie.
Their tantrums were like...
I liked them.
I actually liked them. I liked them. I thought it was like, you suck, Silac.
I was like, they're so shitty to each other.
I like when they're rooting
so
for
shitty
You
to
can do this,
people.
Silac.
That's the man! He's all happy
He
about
loses.
it.
Of course you lose.
So shitty.
I mean, that part was funny. The part where they were rolling her out on the carpet, I was like, okay, they're overdoing this, but
It was like, I thought a lot of the stuff was just a little overdone. I don't know if this was the first time we had seen this. Maybe we wouldn't have thought the same thing. And I also thought, now that joke obviously wasn't. Another thing that was hard for me is that, like, every joke was in the trailer, I thought.
Yeah.
Almost every punchline was in the joke. Some of the funniest parts I realized were like, oh, it was the stuff that wasn't in the trailer.
Yeah.
Like, I remember actually, I laughed like pretty hard on the Yondu part where like he was like, I'm Mary Poppins, y'all! I thought that was really funny, and that wasn't in the trailer.
yeah.
I like when Drax called Mantis hideous.
Yeah.
That was funny. It was funny. I mean, the thing, I feel bad sometimes that it's like, I come out and it's like, it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, and it's like, it was good. It was good.
Well, that's why I'm saying I go for the second viewing, because when I first came out of that, I thought like, okay, they went really heavy on the jokes, they went really heavy on all the like hey, remember? And so I was like, am I like for a second viewing? Is this even I'm gonna know all the jokes? So that's all. That charm's gonna be gone, and then like the story is what they're hanging out on Ego the whole time.
The story, I don't think the story did a whole lot. Kind of.
Yeah, but so like once you get, like I said, like the second thing where you expect it to be this like, oh, it's got to be something, but it's like, oh, it's just like a chapter. And it's establishing these characters more, and they're going to make a Guardians 3, so it's kind of like...
It felt like a filler a little bit, like a good filler episode. It was good, but like nothing... I mean, nothing really, except for him, I guess, finding out who his dad is, and I guess getting Yondu out of there for some reason. Like, we didn't get anywhere. Like, we didn't get anywhere
Like
with
the
this
Guardians 1.5.
Yeah.
Like, right? I guess in Guardians, you get somewhere because they become the Guardians of the Galaxy. You actually get a lot of Thanos in that. You get a stone.
Mm-hmm.
You get Nova Corps. Like, all this stuff that's like going to be part of everything. This was like, oh, this is what they're doing before the movie.
Right.
Before the big one happens, this is what they were up to. Killing Yondu. I mean, that was like, the only thing was like, we got to figure out who his dad is, and we got to get Yondu out of there. It's like...
This movie was a character building movie. It was trying to focus on... It wasn't focusing so much on a grand adventure as much as strengthening the bond of the team, getting the team more established.
Yeah.
Which is good, too.
It's good. I personally didn't really care for the Ego stuff, especially when he became to me very mustache twirly.
I like that definition.
Or he became like at the end, or he's super cool, and all of a sudden he's like, oh, by the way, I killed your mom, and I'm a piece of shit. And then Star-Lord's like, wait, what? Like, fuck you. Like, his plan to me seems stupid too. It's just like, I want all the planets. I want all the water. I have this planet, but I want all the planets.
I mean, I guess he just sit there and he's been doing that for millions of years, just like...
I guess,
I don't know.
I don't know. It's just space magic. You just gotta accept it's space magic that he's a planet thing that can make himself Kurt Russell and go bang all the women in the galaxy and make...
If you were Kurt Russell, I mean...
Yeah, I mean, I would do it. I would do it if I was Kurt Russell, but it just, that kind of stuff didn't really do it for me. I was more interested, which I think what they were trying to get you. Obviously, they wrote the movie so you like fell in love with Yondu, like his character, like that whole arc.
You liked that more?
I think my favorite part of the movie was Drax and Mantis for sure. I did kind of like the Gamora Nebula stuff,
I liked Gamora Nebula.
with the exception of that where she just comes into ship and just is like kamikaze, just way too over the top, like crashing the ship into the planet, and then afterwards they're like
Well,
BFFs.
she saved her, right?
Yeah, it's
Save her, but if you're gonna like kamikaze to that extreme, and the next second you're like, I'm not gonna kill her.
they did a good job.
Yeah.
I thought
I get what you're saying.
yeah, I thought Rocket they did a bad job with, because Rocket in the first movie to me, his whole arc was he didn't trust people and he was coming around having a family and stuff
Now
like
he's
that.
just a dick.
And now he regressed. I thought he went more like I'm gonna keep pushing him away when he didn't really need to do that because he already kind of had that in the first one. I thought, but
I don't know. I mean, I thought it was fine. I thought they just had to. His role definitely felt like more like they were trying to give him something to do.
yeah,
He wasn't really. He seemed like he wasn't really part of. I mean, it seemed like it was. I mean, which is cool. There was two different things going on. I liked Yondu, and I even liked Yondu's part, but it was hard for me to not think like almost like Yondu was like not retconned, but like I feel like Yondu was like he was obviously supposed to be a hit in the other one, but maybe not as big of a hit as he
Right.
was in the first one because Yondu kind of came out like we like Yondu too. Yondu's great, so they kind of like all of a sudden Yondu became like a little bit better of a guy than he was in the first one.
yes, yeah.
All of a sudden, he just dumps the shit crew
Yeah.
or whatever. I mean, like, I know he always liked Peter and he was always cool to Peter, but all of a sudden he's like extra cool to Peter. He's like,
Yeah.
and now he's like, I'm your daddy boy. Like, it was kind of like,
Yeah.
wow, like, it's like they wanted to make you like him even more so they can kill him.
Right.
Something. It was,
yeah.
it was kind of weird.
They did.
Which they did. It's like one of those things where I did enjoy Yondu the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked his character too, so it's not necessarily bad that they did that, but it's just funny when you think you know why they did it. You're like, okay, yeah, you did this because you want more Yondu and you want people to like him more now or something.
Yeah.
No, definitely. I was thinking the same thing with the Ravagers. They were like, it seemed like in the first one they were set up as Ravagers, and now it's just like a cool name for their slightly unorthodox anti-hero group.
I hate when they do that,
Yeah.
by the way, because it was like they were Ravagers, they were thieves, they're stealers, it's cool, but like the scoundrels, but like
That was like a
scoundrels, but they're kind of but now it was like kind of like almost like they're good guys.
Yeah.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
like I was thinking.
And he's disappointed. The part when he was disappointed, I was like, "What is going
Well,
on?"
I know.
and all
With
those
Yondu's
guys,
character.
are. I get that their characters are the original characters in the comics. They're the Guardians.
Is that what that was?
Yondu
Yeah.
and all those captains? But like, you didn't do any of the background work
Right.
to make Ravagers original Guardians, or to have Guardians of the Galaxy before the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
Like that's like a title that passes along now all of a sudden.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
I mean,
I thought they went real Pirates of the Caribbean 3 with that. Like, where it was like, pirates in the first one, it's like, pirates are cool, they're just like a band of pirates. And all of a sudden it's like, the pirate code, and they all gotta meet up, and they got pieces of 8. And there's like the weird, like the other, like the yellow pirate crew, and the red pirate
That's
crew.
exactly right.
And it's just like all of a
Exactly
sudden, you know, like they're just like, what is going on? Like that whole thing was an issue to me.
I don't know. Sylvester Stallone was jarring when I first saw him.
Yeah.
But
I
it
was
was,
like,
it was jarring, and I was kind of like, oh no, are we getting just like all the big names into these movies now? But
I liked it.
who else is kind of bummed out that we didn't get a Tango and Cash reunion?
I was after you brought
we
that
had
up.
the opportunity right there.
Yeah.
No Tango and Cash.
Oh my gosh.
It was there.
They were right there. He was like right there.
Same movies.
Oh, man,
they could have had at least one thing where he like the Ravager kind of came.
Tango? Gosh.
Like a flashback of him turning down the kid deal or something.
Yeah,
That would've been
yeah,
fun.
something.
We would even probably got a young Sylvester and a young Kurt Russell.
Like a tango cat.
Yeah. Which, by the way, they did a great job with young Kurt Russell.
They seem to do a
Yeah.
better. I think Marvel's done a better job so far because I remember thinking Downey's one is always good too. And is that Civil War?
That's Civil War, yeah.
Yeah, Civil War. Like that. It's maybe it's because you've seen them so much young, but like I thought Downey looked exactly like what he did, and then I thought Kurt Russell was like that fucking.
That's like Kurt Russell.
We can just like start making Kurt Russell young movies again.
That's crazy. Like the technology now, it's like you can do that.
Like you don't need stars. Like get him out, bring Kurt Russell back. Just keep recycling Kurt Russell. Like
Yeah.
get that guy some more work.
I saw like some stuff online that I think is kind of accurate that compared like the first one was more like of a Star Wars movie and this one was more like a Star Trek. Like they just go to like a planet and they have like a weird there's like a guy there like hey.
Well, I think
I can see that.
I think I'm gonna have a similar reaction. Kind of do. I had a similar reaction to when I saw Star Trek 3 coming out, going like, oh yeah, that was good.
More of an episode.
But now I kind of like. Not that I like that one maybe more, but like I really enjoy that one now. And I think I'll end up enjoying this one a lot as well. Like second viewings and stuff like that, because it's like, yeah, okay, now that I'm not expecting all this, because it's also another disappointing. It's like every time a Marvel movie comes out, you want it to like, I want more info on what's coming. I want more info.
Yeah.
You know, I want all the water. I want more info. Well, you know, and this had literally none. I mean, unless there's something that I missed.
Well, that's one of the reasons I was like bummed out is because every time like it's like okay, we get like another piece of the puzzle, and this one wasn't really a piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like building on the characters, and so like I was bummed because of that. But then once you realize it's not that, and you go back in, you're like, oh, well, this is like a good movie.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes if I make up these rumors in my head, though, I thought I heard rumors like, oh, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is gonna have so much to do, like setting up.
Thor.
No.
Okay.
The Infinity War.
Right.
Like I remember thought I heard that about Thor. Like Thor's gonna have so much to do with setting up Infinity War. Now that I've seen the Thor trailer, I'm like, it's not gonna have anything to do with setting up anything.
I think it's just gonna happen. It'll just start out and Thanos like, I got the glove.
I just thought Thanos sort of established.
Continue. I don't want to cut you off.
I thought Thanos sort of established that he's like kind of in the Guardians movies. It's not still like him like flying by like holding his dick like I'm coming.
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't get like a shot of him.
Yeah.
So in the first one, it was like, here's Thanos. Bam, you have it. He's an actual character in the movie. He's not like a post-credit.
Right.
He's a thing.
Yeah.
And in this one, I thought we got like, and Naps cut it, I guess. We got Earth involved with Guardian stuff, with that whole, and we got other planets involved. So, you know, someone's going to have to investigate what this poof was and what kind of trouble that...
The blob?
The blob on the planet that almost took out a whole
Like
city.
every planet.
Yeah, you don't lose a Dairy Queen and just let that go uninvestigated.
The Avengers don't show
you
up
lose
for that.
blizzards in a small town, it's fucking chaos.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
you know, someone's going to check that out. So I think... But, like, that's like a small thing, and it happened fast, and, like, I think I saw Star-Lord's uncle in the CRV that almost got taken out at the last second before the blob stopped. But it's like another thing that happened really quickly, and
Okay. Because they showed a guy in the credits. They showed one guy like in a flannel shirt dancing.
yeah,
And I couldn't tell who that was.
I think that was the uncle.
Okay.
That
Because they
from-
also
from that
showed
went
Jeff
and told them
Goldblum.
about-
Did you guys
and they
notice
showed
Jeff
him.
Goldblum?
Yeah.
Which I like the second view of Jeff Goldblum part. I was like,
You
at
didn't like
first
the
I was
first
like, first of all I was like, okay, there he is, but we didn't even see him at all. So
Yeah.
and then second time it was kind of like, eh.
When I saw him, I thought, did I miss him? Did I miss him in the movie? Was he on one of the planets that blobbed?
Right, yeah, like
Or when they were doing the jumps? I was like, because there was a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah, I'm sure if you go back on, especially the jumping thing, I'm sure there's going to be stuff they go through.
Yeah.
And I like that. That kind of blends in the Doctor Strange stuff. The jumps, it looked like they went to some strange dimensions.
Yeah, that was kind of a weird.
It's a weird thing though with the faces.
Things were weird.
It was weird.
Things are weird when you
Got
involve
very
space.
CGI. That was when I first saw that moment, I was just like, oh my god, you guys are going so cartoony with
Yeah,
this
that
fucking
moment.
thing.
That
If you're already
sucked.
watching it in 3D,
Oh god.
no,
It's
it's not a weird change. Because things are already like...
You just like that was a normal part of the movie. Like, why are they showing them fly for so long?
Or like when they're doing when Rocket's doing the thing where he's... Because for some reason he can't
It's
just
like
take him out
Looney
and
Tunes.
boom, one boom. Yeah, it's Looney Tunes, but you're watching 3D like, it makes sense.
That was the part I brought up to Kelly. I was like, yeah, see, it's like that was an example for me where I was like a little overdone. Where he's like, now they're all just jumping up. I was like, okay.
Well, that
many
part, just even from the trailer, I've always not liked. Because it's
The
like, from the
face?
shoot, the guy's like, ah, like right at the top. I'm like, this is going to be too silly. But that's the thing, is like, I really liked the movie.
If it had been one time, it'd have been fine.
Yeah, one time would have been
But
fine.
then they did it 3-4 more times.
I liked the one little Guardian part where they all went down and Yondu was there and Nebula was part of the crew.
I love when they all assemble.
It's like, fuck, every time you think it's gonna be so stupid, and I like it.
Yeah.
I kind of like how bad
I was kinda bummed.
Nebula is.
I like Nebula.
Nebula.
Nebula, they did a good job of like making me kind of like Nebula.
Yeah, I liked her.
And like Yondu, I was actually kind of like, really, you're killing Yondu?
Yeah, I know.
I was like, I liked him part. I was like, ooh.
And now we get Cracklin. Like he's the new Yondu. Kill him.
I liked Cracklin.
I kind of liked Cracklin.
I like him, but like
I like him as Cracklin.
I thought he was
like
Cracklin, not my Yondu.
Yeah, I want a Yondu Cracklin. Like
Oh,
they're like part of the team.
They're a
like
team.
But like a team within our team.
Yeah, I would be fine to have the two of them like fighting like Infinity War stuff, and she's just like doing this, the other guy's shooting.
I thought for sure Kraglin was fucked. I thought for sure.
When it was getting
Just anything, any part. I'm like, they're bringing this guy so they can kill somebody on the like. He's the red shirt who goes down on the away team.
Yes, he was the most likable bad guy.
Yeah.
You know, that seemed killable.
Right.
I thought for sure they were gonna, drag him out.
I felt bad for that one Yondu loyalist.
Scarface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy was like, "Help me, Captain! Help me! Kill me, Captain!"
And he was still in that. Oh, they blew off my mohawk stage. I
Yeah.
was like, don't be pitiful.
Yeah.
They blew off his mohawk.
Well, I think he was just there, just like, there's nothing I can do. I've lost. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's just like, I'm sorry, I can't help you. We're fucked. Like,
I think he was more.
Go out fighting though.
He was shooken
like
up
pitiful
from the Sylvester Stallone thing.
He was shaken up from that. He was shaken up.
You think you're better than me? Like that kind of thing.
Which I had in Napscott. Because I didn't know they were that tight of a crew. I thought there was only one group of Ravagers until I found out there was 99 other groups of
I
them.
didn't get it.
That's where I agree with Rossi, where they made them like Tom said, the pieces of 8.
Yeah.
Like they
well,
did
it's like
that.
a code where it's like he's like, you're not gonna have the lights of the Ravagers, like this whole like beautiful funeral
Oh,
they do, like these
yeah.
fucking thieves and shit.
Like they're
dude.
Vikings or
Yeah, so
It's a scavenger funeral.
something. He's the law. He's the law.
you're not gonna hear those whole
I can't not think of Judge Dredd. When I see Sylvester Stallone in sci-fi, he's just Judge Dredd. And especially in that role.
With
he's-
elaborate shoulder
Yeah.
pads.
I kind of liked seeing him though. I mean,
I
first
like
he was
him in
jarring,
sci-fi, yeah.
but all of a sudden I was like,
I
want him in.
Yeah.
I kind of want him in.
I liked him in his outfit.
He
Because
looked
I'm
cool.
tired of
He
him.
looks
I'm
cool.
tired of him in the Expendables showing off his old man muscles.
Yeah.
Well, he's cool though. I mean, he's cool. I mean, he's good for movies like that though, because he's big. So he's kind
He's
of
big.
He's not a regular looking person. So he looks like somebody who's just be in a space movie
And-
or some type of sci-fi fantasy. Because he's just
Sci-fi.
No, he's great. He's
Well,
great
it
for
looks
that.
like he's
Wish I
gonna
did
be a
character more.
big deal in the third one. Like
Yeah.
they're whatever their
That crew.
team they're assembling.
you think
yeah.
so? You think so?
Yeah.
I thought maybe that was just like a.
No,
Like
Definitely I'm bringing them in.
yeah, and plus I read stuff online
Oh,
afterwards.
okay.
Like I started looking up.
Now that
That's
you're
why
post-
he knows.
Yeah, like in the red like fish guy who kind of did like a Doctor Strange thing. I guess in the comics he is actually involved with Doctor Strange and stuff. So
I like that Vin Rhames is in it.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
got the meats.
We got the meats. And I think is that Asian lady, the lady from
It's Michelle Yeoh.
Crouching Tiger,
Yeah.
Dragon?
I don't know if you want to bring it up, but I thought me and
Yeah.
Rob thought
It was-
that was the enemy from Thor.
She looks
Oh,
way too
like-
similar.
Yeah,
I was like-
totally.
I'm like, no, that's different. That's not Kate Blanchett. But what the fuck? Like, why make
Why
it look
make it-
so similar?
It was so similar.
I was thinking that. I was like, is she supposed to be a one of Thor's people?
right. Yeah.
Or, what is that? Is she maybe she's one of Hela's people? I don't get it. Like,
yeah.
Did you guys catch anything from them when they were space jumping? Anything?
I didn't catch anything aside from the first Stan Lee thing.
I wanted to.
There was
I was
two.
looking.
There was
I thought maybe
two
since you saw-
barbarian people with a club. I tried to do the second time.
Yeah.
Two barbarian people with a club going at each other that I didn't recognize.
See, because that could be a gladiator thing.
It could be, but it was a very open
The planet.
moon,
I thought the
world.
planet really quickly looked like the planet Thor was on in Thor 2, but the skyline looked kind of like it. But
Maybe.
I'm not sure why you would go back there.
I don't know. But I didn't catch anything other than the Stan Lee thing, and then.
Yeah.
I'm sure they. I mean, that's such that's so easy to put the Easter eggs in that part.
That little Ravager robot head that's I'm so happy we're back together. I guess that was Miley Cyrus's cameo.
Oh,
I remember
yeah.
hearing about that. It's apparently that was her.
Yeah, I read that.
Yeah. I was like, oh, fucking would have never known.
Ooh, I wasn't even. I was actually just wondering what the fuck that was.
Yeah, I'm like, what are these?
Yeah.
I'm glad that Howard the Duck made it in more.
Are you?
You made it in a lot, weren't you? Go Duck, you're in luck.
I don't know why do people like it? Somebody comment. I know you're not gonna, but somebody comment. And
I mean,
just
I don't
say,
think people do like it, but it's just a
It's
cameo.
just because it's like.
what's the appeal of Howard the Duck?
It's just like an homage to like some Marvel.
What's the
comic.
appeal of the guy with phase eyes? Beamy eyes.
Yeah.
Because it's cool. Like Howard the Duck doesn't even look cool. He looks like a Muppet on crack.
Why does it look like like that? What's that? That one Muppet that's like always like cracked out.
Yeah, he looks like a shitty. He's all scruffy,
like it's a flea one or something. Why does it look like that? If he looked like maybe like a weird mix of the comic one and the crappy movie one that we got, just something, or just make him look practical. But instead of making it like a cartoon character, we just plopped down right there.
Actually, honestly, I don't really care about him.
I don't care.
I just don't like him thrown in.
I don't like him in.
I was weirdly happy that weirdly like, oh cool, we got another scene for some weird reason.
Of Howard the Duck?
Yeah, just because it's like, the one thing is just because that annoying thing at the very end of the first Guardian.
I like that it's like, oh, now he's out, and like you don't wonder like, oh, what happened?
I guess that's all it was.
I didn't care.
He's out there doing something else. I don't know.
I hoped he blew up.
How do you feel about the Adam Warlock thing?
I liked it.
Do anything for you?
It did a little bit for me because it's kind of like ooh, like because you don't
I
you
don't
know
know
Adam Warlock's like a character that's involved with this whole Infinity thing, but I mean you don't really know for sure that he was going to be in it.
Actually, I don't know anything about Adam Warlock, so like.
Did I give you the Infinity War comic? Whatever.
Yeah, but sometimes like even I think I read that, but it's like I just sort of like read the stuff I wanted to.
Sometimes you give Rossi something and then he doesn't do anything with it.
I've had Charles's like Swamp Thing comics for I think over a year.
But yeah, no, it did something for me. But like, that was like pretty much the only after credit scene that did anything for me, and it was pretty much just like she just says his name and there's like the cocoon, so it's kind of like
talk about the worst post credits of all time.
Yeah,
of all time, like.
I don't know about of all time, but
I mean,
what's the worst?
I think Thor 2's
everything else had a kind of a high bar.
Wait, maybe
that bouncing dog thing.
Yeah, the dog at the end.
What was the one we saw recently that had a really shitty end credit?
Well, we saw.
There was one where they did like nothing, like absolutely nothing.
I think Avengers 2 they do nothing.
It was I don't know. I can't think of it. There's one I remember we were watching. I was like, really? That was it?
I don't know. I feel like all four of these, except for the Adam Warlock one.
They were sucky after, but I don't know about the worst ones of all time.
Okay, what were they?
I mean, the Guardians one where we just see Howard the Duck was kind of rough.
That is pretty.
Yeah, it was better than this though. I felt like I don't know. I think maybe just because it was just the one. Like the idea they gave us four, and they all were like.
Cap 2 just showed Bucky walking around in the.
Yeah, but see, that was.
I like Bucky out.
All right, what did we get? What did we get in this one again? What did we get?
We got Sylvester Stallone's Team Assemble, right?
Okay, I guess it's not that bad.
We got Adam Warlock, which is funny. Because I joke with Tom. It always reminds me when they shoehorn in that kind of stuff. In the first Resident Evil, they do, since those movies have like nothing to do with the games at the beginning. The guy, like one of the guys, like put him in the Nemesis program, just like right at the end, just for like no reason, like
no reason. Just grab this guy. Is like, well, strap him in. He's Nemesis.
Like we gotta, yeah.
I'm not gonna do any research.
It just
this guy was scrawny.
When people are like, yeah, Adam Warlock, we gotta get Adam Warlock in there. He's in cameo. He's gonna be in the third one. Like you could have established him, I think, in the third one, but
I liked it. I mean, I liked the Gold People, and I thought like it kind of made them cool. They have more going on. They weren't just like this weird like I don't know, like just kind of like a jokey kind of villain thing. They had like, more of a purpose. A lot of people hate the Gold People.
Like they had to hire defenders. Then all of a sudden they've got a whole fucking crew of things. Like a just unimaginable amount of ships that couldn't have just like, I don't know, maybe just picked up and taken the worm monster away.
They reminded me of I don't know if you guys have seen the Futurama movie, the scammers.
Oh yeah.
Or they're thinking, well now we got this, you know. It's just like, dude, just fuck off. Nobody cares about you. So we got Adam Warlock. We got Stan Lee is actually a character instead of just having dumb cameos.
I think that was the roughest one.
That was the roughest one because that was the one at the very end, and I was like, I was thinking like at the very end we're gonna get one that like universe builds, and we got that. I'm like, no, we already kind of got this one
We got it.
Yeah.
Stan Lee gets one cameo. He gets one cameo that I already don't want in the movie.
Well, and the one in the movie is the one that actually explained that he was like probably like more of a character because he's like, this time I was a FedEx guy. This one they just like walk away. He's like, where are you leaving me?
I really don't like that they're making him. They're explaining it.
They're explaining why he's
in universe. Like, well, it makes sense because he's like a Watcher's informant or whatever he is. Which I don't even know what are the Watchers DC like.
No.
No, there's just
they look like the DC.
They look
That's
like
why
the
I said
DC
Green
guys.
Lantern.
Yeah, they look like the Green Lantern.
Oh, aren't they called the Watchers in that too?
I think so.
I think so. I think they're both.
Or the Council.
I don't know. We need Charles here for that one DC question.
I'll replace him with my phone real quick.
And what?
That's
there was
3.
At least 2 more.
There was the Drax getting stabbed by Cracklin.
Yeah.
There was Teen Groot.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
Team
Drax
Groot.
getting stabbed. Was anyone else like concerned that
I
that's
thought-
like a big fucking deal?
Yeah, I was kind of like, is he dead? Like,
No,
he could have easily killed Drax there.
I'm not concerned because Drax survived the most unrealistic tether,
Plane crash?
pinball like crash of all time.
Yeah, I think that was kind of stupid too.
How did he survive that? That was insane.
Yeah. So that's the thing. I'll try to stop saying like second viewing, go see it. But my first time out of the theater of that was like, okay, so what happened? So they fought the space monster in the beginning, and then they all just kind of hung out on Ego's planet until the final battle. That's like kind of like how I saw it. I'm like, yeah, there was the Ravager part, but like, great, you know. So, but then when you come back the second time around, it's the character building and everything. It's like, which I did appreciate the first time around, but I just thought it was just like, it was more just like jokes. And I remember, like, 'cause there wasn't any really reason for them to dance or do anything in this one, but for some reason, even at the credits, everyone's like dancing, like it's the dance movie, we dance, remember? And I'm kind of like, don't force it. It was funny when he did it because he's like from Earth, just kind of like a whatever. I don't know.
Speaking of, like the Guardians movies, to me always seem so far removed from the Marvel universe that when Ego's blob was taking over Earth, I was like, I guess they could destroy Earth. It won't really affect the Guardians. I'm like, oh wait, that's the Avengers live on the Earth. Like, but I was it's so like just like distance from Marvel to me that even though it is a Marvel movie, it's weird. But I had that brief moment where I was like, I guess they can get rid of Earth.
In that part, for some reason, I was hoping / expecting we would see like a cameo from at least one Avenger, like seeing that on the TV, like. Oh,
I thought so too.
If it wasn't for them stopping it over there, Avengers would just get blobbed.
Yeah, I thought maybe we'd get a little cameo there.
Yeah, like Stark or something looking at it, or that would have been cool, you know. But no, it was just blobby and no Dairy Queen and.
Man, that's a bummer. Looked like a good Dairy Queen.
It did look good there. Dairy Queen has been there a long time.
Used to be called Deezer.
Deezer?
I was like, did it?
Yeah, I don't know. That was like what the sign was, and I was like, yeah, that looks like a Dairy Queen, but for some reason it says Deezer. And then in the current year, it was like a D&Q. I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
I didn't even notice that.
But the story of Peter Quill's mom is a tragic one, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's pretty sad.
Yeah, I always did you? I mean, I always kind of, not that I assumed that he like gave her a tumor, but I always thought that maybe she died because of
being together.
Yeah.
I thought it was just because they had been together.
Yeah, like cosmic radiation.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't realize
he
he gave
God
her the
damn,
tumor.
he murdered her.
I had to give her a tumor.
Straight up just straight up killed her. Didn't have to. You could have just not gone back to the planet, dude.
I liked that we didn't have to deal with like that. Like as soon as he said that, I was like, okay, give him up, fuck you. I was
Yes.
like, good thing we didn't have to deal with like, no, I should go with him still.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
It was immediately
I'm
like,
glad
no,
it was immediately like,
fuck
oh fuck you.
Yeah,
We're done.
this guy's a fucking.
Yeah, immediately
Yeah.
just shot him to shit.
Which I enjoyed.
It's a great.
Which I
It's
enjoyed.
great. Yeah. I was a little first time around just like, we're doing the really big like CGI, just like tentacles and explosions and stuff where I couldn't see what's going on. But second viewing.
I didn't mind it. I didn't mind that part of the first viewing.
Second viewing.
I thought they did a good job with Ego, the living planet. Because when I first heard that was in it, I was like, do we have to go real crazy with it? Do we have to have I thought it was gonna be like his face like talking like I'm the planet or something like that. And so I was like, I don't know what to expect. And so now I kind of know the guy's character, it's kind of a cool character in a way, and it was cool how they like showed like the Kurt Russell like face like on the outside.
I was gonna say I liked
like,
the face on the planet. That was a cool work in.
Yeah, where it's like that's him. It's Ego the Planet, but he's just
Yeah, I mean, for what Ego was ever going to be, it's probably the best Ego we could have gotten.
Yeah, I mean, enough to where I'm totally accepting of it in the universe and not being like why they have to put Ego in there? It's so out there.
Well, Ego's out.
Yeah, he's out.
He's out. And so Star-Lord's just a regular Joe now, right? Is that what they...
I don't know. I mean, I
Sam said that too afterwards, and I thought, but he never got the light or had been to the planet when he held the stone, so he still got to have some residual, right?
But the light was still there.
See, but
he made a mention of it that because as long as the light was there on that planet, he was...
I think maybe Kurt Russell's character was just saying that, though, because, like...
Maybe.
I don't think Kurt Russell... Because it doesn't seem like
he can't know.
It doesn't seem like his character did know. Because the idea he kept trying to impregnate all these women to, like, pass on his gene that most of them weren't even taking it. Yeah. So it's like, he doesn't... I don't think... It doesn't seem like that he knows what the... He didn't even know what he was. Maybe he's like, I don't know, I found myself floating around one day.
Was he trying to pass on his gene? Or
No, he just needed more power.
Yeah, he needed another Celestial.
Yeah, he needed another Celestial, so half a Celestial would have been good.
Was just enough.
I think no, he didn't know, but I think the reason that was said is so we go, oh, he's not like a god anymore. Like I think that's the reason. Like he's just like, if you kill me, the light's gone, and you're not going to be able to fly around and create everything. You're just going to be normal like everyone else. Bah!
I didn't even think about that much that he was that unnormal until, like, he held the stone, and they still had to basically tell me why he was able to hold the stone. I just sort of he's holding the stone. And like, oh, you were able to do it because of this. I was like, oh, I didn't even think that you shouldn't have been able to do it.
I thought the only reason he was able to do it is
just stupid and naive.
The other people, and their bond.
Yeah, sort of. So I was kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't do...
So I didn't really care, really.
They didn't do a good job of explaining. In the first one, you could tell they kind of were, there's something special about Star-Lord, but...
I guess he was able to survive without his mask for a little longer, but I still kind of was like, oh, it's weird that he's surviving.
Well, it actually made more sense because he was out in space, but that's kind of what would happen, supposedly. I don't know.
It takes a second.
I don't know if anyone's actually taken their helmet off in space, but...
Right.
I don't think
but I've seen Event Horizon,
right.
And they gave that guy 30 seconds. And so I just assume you have 30 seconds.
Yeah, 30 seconds.
Yeah,
I saw
that guy...
There was a movie with, I thought Don Cheadle or something, where the guy, like, takes his helmet off, and it's, like, instant.
Is it The Red Planet?
No, not really.
With Tim Robbins? When Tim Robbins takes it?
Tim Robbins? Is that Mission to Mars?
Mission to Mars.
Yeah,
Red Planet. That's the Don. Is that the Don Cheadle one?
Red Planet's the Val Kilmer. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. So the Don Cheadle one is Mission to Mars.
Mission to Mars, and it's Tim Robbins. And it's immediate.
Yeah, it is.
It's
as soon as he breaks the seal and lifts it, crystallized.
You're like,
yeah.
But that's because he didn't prep himself like Event Horizon told you to. Blow out all your air and curl into a ball.
There you go.
It's science.
oh.
Seems to work for
Star-Lord just turned it off.
Well, supposedly, from what I read, what scientists say is that that's kind of what would happen in space. You would kind of just, but it wouldn't be like instant Crystal Man like in Mission to Mars or whatever. But so I kind of bought that more.
That part was sad though, where he was like screaming, like just seeing Yondu die.
It was sad because they made you care for him so much. But I do agree with what you said, Rossi, where he's not. He was a scumbag in the first one. He had like a little soft spot for Quill, obviously.
And he was a likable scumbag, but he was
a likable scumbag, but he was gonna straight up kill Quill, I think, in that scene where he had if he didn't tell him, wait, we got like the Infinity Stone or whatever, like
right.
He was gonna get him. Like,
if you want a naps cut it, he, having raised Quill, knew Quill's mind would come up with something to give him that he could plausibly let him go within the other Ravagers.
I feel like it's like one of those things like, you see him with the papers flying up, and then he pulls up and it's like that thing was like,
are you scrapbooking my plan right now?
Scotch taped together, like look at this, I'm running through the projector.
Well, that's why it's not so bad, because they took something that you can say, okay, like that makes sense. We know he didn't turn Quill over to Ego, so we know we didn't go after Ego or Quill after he fucked him over with the Infinity Stone. So it's believable. You can spin it in their favor, which they did.
Well, he got a little weird too when he was the guy that has to yell at Peter like, "It wasn't my mind that controls the arrow; it's my heart."
Yeah,
that was. That was an.
I was like, wow, he went to like just full bore and like
he controls the arrow with his heart. He can whistle and fine.
We do know Yondu dropped off like 50 kids before he decided to save Quill.
Yeah.
There was like a mountain of corpses.
Yeah. But like, did he go tell Yondu, yeah, I'm killing these guys?
I don't think so.
I think he gathered after the 49th kid. He's dropping off 50 and he's like, you know what, I should have seen at least one of these motherfuckers running around if they were happy. It's a small planet. I should have seen one of them. You picked up this mantis girl. I see her every third time.
Yeah. Plus, he probably liked Quill more. Because, Quill wasn't like an infant. He was still kind of like a kid. So he probably was like, I'm not going to drop this guy off. I don't know. Maybe
he just lost his mom. He was crying. Yondu clearly had a heart of gold.
But it all makes sense. They clearly retconned him to make him better, but like, it is sense that he got sent there. Like he had Yondu go, not him. Like it all makes sense. Like why he wasn't there. And
I guess that's the thing. They retconned him, so I think that's annoying. But I liked him.
Yeah. Well,
I guess
liked him in the first one too.
I liked him in the first. See, I would have liked him just fine if he would have stayed as the first character.
Yeah. He just in this one he went from anti-hero to just full-on Heart of Gold. Just the Heart of Gold, but there's no hiding the Heart of Gold.
Some would say Jason Statham.
Yeah. And not that...
He went Fast 8, baby!
Not that Yondu was irredeemable, because he helped out on Xandar. He was instrumental in that. Like, he was a hero. He was an anti-hero. Mm-hmm. It's just they made him in this one just full-on.
Well, they were trying to show that he was like... It was kind of like the Rocket character, where he's like... He's a good guy, but he's like being the dickhead. Where it's just like, okay, well then fine, fuck you guys. I don't need you. Like he's kind of like that with it, but clearly, I don't know.
Because he chose that path. He actually chose to push them away. He chose against the Ravagers.
Did Peter lose his mask?
Yeah.
Yes, it got broken. It got broken when
he got whacked. Shouldn't have broken from the whack, but it got broken.
Because I kind of missed that. So I knew obviously he didn't have it, but I was kind of like.
He'll have another one.
No, but it's not just that. I was kind of like, that's the only reason. That's the reason Yondu died. Is because if Peter had his mask, it would have been fine.
Yondu was going to die no matter what.
I still feel like
they set it up.
Did they need to kill Yondu?
They made like enough of a point to show the broken mask.
Yeah.
Did they? For some reason, I just missed it.
They made it so that they set it up so you would have the emotional Yondu death in his arms.
Yeah.
No.
You have to have a death every time again. Last time you had Groot, this time you have Yondu. There should have been a scene at the very end where somebody was growing a mohawk.
Growing a mohawk.
Baby Yondu.
They did. They put one on the other guy.
Yeah.
Which you don't have to have that installed. You just plop it on.
Which it wasn't working.
So
did they rip it off Yondu?
So they had two of them? No, I saw it disintegrate when he was getting cremated. So where did that
They had another one.
Yeah.
It's like installed in his head, right? The other guy just wears it.
I don't know.
It's almost like you don't even have to have it on your head. You just whistle. The thing goes around.
Put it in a more secure place.
Seriously.
I thought he was going to kill himself with the... I didn't think it was going into Drax. I thought the dude was going to kill himself with the arrow.
That would have been a morbid...
You really thought that dude was not going to make it.
Well, when they show him going... I can't whistle, but when he's just going around and he doesn't have control of it, I'm like, they're so killing this guy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's funny how much you hate, how easy they make you hate Yondu's crew, though.
Yeah, Yondu's crew just went from loyal to just fuck you.
What was that
half of them.
Taserface?
Taserface?
The Taserface half was bad.
Taserface, I thought they ran that
he had such a large crew.
into the ground.
Jesus.
Well, he had a huge ship.
Yeah.
Huge. I remember that from the first one.
Well, they had a whole army, from the first one, to help fight out.
You think he would have just fought the other Ravagers or something? Jesus.
Right, yeah. Shit, I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, fuck it, move on.
Anything else, really, in the movie?
I'm trying to think.
Kind of covered a lot of it. It's almost like not a lot to cover in a weird way.
Sam really liked...
That's what I'm saying, nothing really happened, but it was good.
The Pac-Man thing.
Tom didn't like
when
that.
Kurt Russell went into like a stone man, I was kind of hoping, and they'd already referenced Pac-Man, I was hoping that Pratt would go He-Man. Or something something still silly, but something... I was like, Pac-Man?
Yeah.
I mean,
it was fine, but it was like...
I didn't mind it.
To me, it felt don't know. It fell flat for me.
It fell flat for me
Whack
too.
it, whack it too. It did the thing, and I heard people like, ha, and I was like, you know what?
It was definitely like a knowing crowd people thing where I was like, eh.
Yeah, I was like, I'm out. But I thought Drax was probably the funniest, but he didn't really, besides be jokey, he didn't really
Didn't do anything.
do anything.
Yeah.
He was just the comic relief.
Rocket, I was bummed, was so like down in the dumps. I liked Rocket in the first one more, whatever. I didn't like how he was so down in the dumps and not really part of it. It was pretty much like at odds with Peter the whole time until like the very end.
Well, they weren't even together that much. Too.
Gamora, even I liked her and Nebula, but like it still seemed like everyone who was just on Ego's planet was just kind of like they didn't really have much to do.
They didn't seem like anybody had much to do.
Right, it was all about Peter's lineage.
And I told Kelly
That's
this,
kinda what they
and I
meant
wasn't
for.
necessarily even complaining. This isn't even a complaint, but it is, I guess. But it sort of, the movie, no matter what, it seemed like it took a while to kind of get going. Like, or like figuring, and that's part what I'm talking about, like, because I figured out pretty quick, obviously, that he's going to turn, but I kept going like, wow, it's really obvious, and it's also like, it's just a lot of him being nice until you're just kind of waiting for the turn.
Yep.
Like, when's the turn going to happen? Because that's when you really start going like, okay, he's 100%, this is going to be the problem, because we're like 40 minutes in, they have not established a bad guy. It's clear he's just going to turn it a little bit. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, we're like, even the other one, even though like a lot of people didn't like Ronan, because he's like a very generic, but it was still kind of like, you go to the bad guy plot, get a little going on there, you come back to what the Guardian's doing. It was like this more back and forth. This one was just like what this guy's doing, what they're doing. You're just kind of waiting for the turn. You're just waiting for the turn for like a while.
Well, I think this one's gonna make Guardians 3 like a lot cooler. I think it's gonna make their appearance in Infinity War a lot cooler because it's just you got more like character like stuff.
I liked Gamora more in this one. I think.
I liked her more.
I think we just got more of her, so I liked her.
She just seemed like I had to like kind of remember. I'm like, oh yeah, she's supposed to be like this like feared like presence in the universe. Like because in the first one, it's like she's the one that's like walking around. Like she was fighting. I think she was trying to get Quill. Oh, because he had the Infinity Stone.
Yeah.
Like kicking his ass, and then she's like, people are giving her shit in the prison. Like it felt like she had more to do in the first one. It had more like badass scenes.
Yeah, this one she just kind of moped around the planet and then just
fuck
said,
me.
no, I mean I like Gamora too.
I just like not many people had stuff to do, but it was good. It's just when you go in expecting it to be like the first, and then it's that's when you're I was kind of underwhelmed at first.
I wanted a resolution one way or the other for the unspoken thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly it's like 2 movies of them like not
2 movies, and now it's a spoken unspoken thing.
They're obviously
Let's wrap this up.
They're obviously into each other. Like it's
Yeah.
so annoying. Like,
we need to spend a whole movie with it not happening at this point.
like you already kind of got in the first movie, they overcame that. Well, we're not really okay. I'm kind of into you thing, and then this one it was more of that, but it's like we're just not going to do it, and even reference it.
I thought in the very beginning they were basically already saying they were like banging because at one point he's like I wasn't flirting with
Yeah,
and I was like oh
right.
shit, did they just like which is what I would have been fine with whatever. They're like, oh, they already skipped all. They skipped this whole part, and they're already together. Go back, cool.
Yeah, that's
cool, great banging. But then I was like, oh, so it's not.
Well, I guess this
Still
movie.
not happening.
I guess this movie takes place 2 months after the events of Guardians 1. So I thought it was like they were together for a long time.
Oh.
But it's only like 2 months after that.
How do you know that?
Because I've watched like cast interviews and everything.
Well, they don't tell you that.
I know they never tell
They
you.
don't tell you. But
Somehow
I thought it was
that's
a long
Good
time.
to know.
Yeah.
That would have made things a little different in my head, but
Could have used that.
But that's like even in Star Wars and stuff too. They just it was 10 years between these movies. They never really tell you. You just kind of.
those ones I feel like you can tell though because it always looked a little aged.
I don't know
Got
how long
promotions and
Han was at Jabba's palace to this day. I don't know how.
That's a good point. That's a good
I don't know how
point.
long
I
they-
think that's
that
supposed to be a
took before
year.
that.
It was supposed to be a year, which doesn't really make sense.
Felt 3 years.
Felt 3 years.
Well, not even
It
that.
felt like
It
a Doctor.
feels like 15
Felt like a
in
Doctor
the
Strange
idea
3
of,
years.
No, but it feels like 15 in the idea of where Luke was
Right, yeah.
in Empire Strikes Back with his Jedi abilities and where like he's just a Jedi master
Yeah.
in Jabba's palace. That's the only thing you're kind of like, oh, so it's a year of training.
Right.
Why they started these one like, oh, he was too old, was he? fucking Luke learned it at 25 in a year.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, when it was great. Didn't turn dark.
Like Anakin was the best, but Luke's obviously the quick learner.
Yeah.
It always bothered me because at the end of Empire Strikes Back, they're going to get Han right then and there, right? And then you know where Tatooine is. You know it's like a light speed jump. You know Jabba's going to be pretty, easy to take out with your lightsaber. I mean, maybe you didn't know. Maybe that
Luke wasn't going. Remember? Oh yeah, he did say, "I'll meet you at the rendezvous point at Tatooine."
Yeah, but then it took like a year. Like Lando had to be how long? And then Chewie went with Lando, and then Chewie was taken in by Leia in the bounty hunter costume. It was like a mess.
Well, Lando had a lot of political responsibilities he had to wrap up before he could leave.
But he left though. He left though in Empire Strikes Back at the end. He goes with Chewie, like we're getting Han.
The time cut is they get there, they realize it's more of an operation than they think it's gonna be, and they have to come up with a plan.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, well, he's not going anywhere.
Right.
We'll get him.
Then by then, Lando's used up his PTO, so he's got to save up some more.
Right.
I don't even think Lando's a part of that. I think he just said fuck Cloud City. Does he go? He doesn't even seem like he goes back.
We don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he could after Return of the
Bald guy
Jedi.
with the thing, he took over, so.
He could have gone back. He just at this point he's like, they fucked his city over, so like he's part of the rebellion.
I'm fine with that.
Lobot.
Yeah. So
that's what that guy's name is. What is it?
Lobot.
Lobot.
Why do you know that?
I just see this. Know.
He always sucks though.
This sucks.
Every time when he gets him the thing, and like he's like sitting there doing nothing, he goes. He sucks.
So, any final thoughts on Guardians?
Overall good. I can't wait to see it again.
I almost think, is there any possible way we can squeeze in a second viewing today?
I doubt it.
Doubt it?
How accurate is that time?
That's the time.
Might be possible.
We can do it. I think we should do it. I think we'll do another viewing. I think you guys will come at it. Oh, that's another thing I didn't even comment on was I thought they were going real Suicide Squad with the fucking songs at first.
I thought the opposite. I thought they went more of a, you gotta really know your 80s trivia songs to get those songs. I think I got 4 of them.
This soundtrack, this one sucked.
Compared to the last one, it was complete.
Well, I listened to I used to listen and still listen to a lot of 70s, 60s, 70s rock, and most of it's from the 70s, but and this they went completely just soft rock from the era, pop rock from the era, and I was like, wow, it's this
that was more the tune of the movie.
Comparable though to the last one, which was the soundtrack was so fun and good.
Yeah.
This one was so much.
But I felt like the soundtrack was space.
Every song felt like the same song in a way.
It did feel like the same song, but there was always one playing. It felt anytime they're traveling, there's a song. Anytime they go somewhere, it's just
I was kind of happy when he crushed Mixtape 2. Mixtape 2 out of here.
He's got the zoom now.
He should have just popped it out and crushed that through it.
Mixtape 2 around.
I was so excited for when you see Volume 2. I'm like, what are the songs gonna be? And it's just all the same stuff. They were good in the credits. The credits
that's when they finally brought back, some funk. They brought back
Flashlight.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, there's a jam.
Yeah.
I haven't danced like this since Baby Groot popped in.
Yeah. The credits are fun. Let's see another viewing.
So bye.
Anything else? No? Good?
Just the last thing.
Closing remarks?
Just the last thing I wanted to say. 2 things.
I'm gay.
Well, we're getting to you next.
I gotta bring that up. Yeah.
But the snow planet was Contraxia. I don't know if you guys caught that, contracting STDs.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty funny. And the second one, I kind of even though it was stupid and you saw it coming, the right fruit joke. I like that a lot.
That was good. I did.
Just the way she bites it, she goes it's not right.
I like that.
I like when he kicks it. Yeah, just it's not right.
But just the way she bites it, just the way she reacts to it.
But I wanted to bring up Rossi because I totally thought of him as Drax when Ego's telling everybody everything, and he's just like. You got a penis? Like, well, I mean, the guy's one place got a dick, you know? Where's the dick at?
That's what you're talking about?
Because it's like, dude, what is it like that? It's like, well, he doesn't have a dick. What kind of planet is he? It's like...
Yeah, if he didn't have a dick, I think that would have
I mean, here's the
lowered
thing.
the score like 2
Here's the
points.
thing. When Drax asked, he was like, "Does he have a dick?" I was like,
it's like,
His answer is an impressive one too.
yeah, it's not a bad dick. He's like, see? Good dick.
"So, is there anything we're seeing next week?"
Next week, no. I think Aliens is in 2 weeks. Aliens is May 19th.
We have a week off.
I think so.
Okay.
I'll have to double check.
I think next week's Arthur, which I don't want to see. So
You don't want to see that forgettable, like generic fantasy epic.
I'm really excited to see Arthur
Guy Ritchie.
on TV.
I'm
I'm not excited to see it at all.
So May 19th is Alien, and then May 26th is Pirates.
Pirates.
And I think we're getting some show or something in the middle of May,
Twin
right?
Peaks.
Twin Peaks?
May 21st.
So that's in the middle. And then June is Wonder Woman. Like,
Does anybody have Showtime?
No.
It's on Showtime.
We might have Showtime.
I mean, we got the
It's the fucking drag of the whole thing. I don't have Showtime.
got the thing.
He's got the thing.
So-
Anyways.
Yeah.
May 19th is Alien. 25th is Baywatch. 26th is Pirates. Ugh.
Well, Wonder Woman.
June 2nd is Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman's the next week after Pirates.
I think I had to ask for that one.
June 9th is Mummy.
Oh, we got a Mummy trailer in ours. I don't think we ever mentioned
I
that.
didn't get him.
Oh yeah, we forgot the Mummy.
Got the same Mummy trailer.
I got a kind of different one that was kind of cooler.
Yeah?
I got a different Mummy trailer on a movie I saw recently. What did I go see? Hey.
Anyway. Well, see you in a fortnight.
In a fortnight.
Cut off in the middle of anything.